Hello there, I'm Ruth Hull. I trained as a homeopathic doctor and an integrative health consultant, and I have a passion for helping people who are struggling with fatigue, with exhaustion, constant tiredness, or burnout. Now, if you're one of those people, I've got something special to share with you today. It's a very, very old technique, first originally developed by an actor. And it is taught a lot now in acting schools and performance classes. But I think it is just a phenomenal technique, something you can do at home for yourself to really, really help you slow down, help you release tension from your body, feel a lot better, and give yourself a moment of time to escape reality. Okay, so what is this that I'm talking about? It's you may already know it. It's called the Alexander Technique. So I'll just share a little bit about how I first came to it. When I was in my 20s, I was a bit of a workaholic and I overworked like most people do. And I constantly had neck and shoulder pain. It felt as if somebody had just opened up this area and poured concrete inside. I was always tight and stiff and sore. And I was also always in my head, stressing, worrying, working, just I struggled with sleep. I had this constant little like a tape recorder going in my mind, zzz, of all the stuff I had to do. And I can't even remember how I heard about it, but I heard about a woman who taught the Alexander Technique. So I thought I'll try it to just help with my neck pain. And the Alexander Technique is, it's called the Alexander Position, which I'll talk to you about today, is something that I still use. So like 20 something years later, I still use it, and I use it regularly to just help me calm down. And it made such a difference to my neck and shoulder tension as well. So that's why I thought I would share it with you. So FM Alexander was actually an Australian actor, and he started struggling with laryngitis and voice loss, losing his voice when trying to act. And nothing could help, no one could help him. And then he realized that it was because he had this constant neck and shoulder tension, tightness, and poor posture. And that was what was, when he tried to use his voice too much, that was what was sort of contributing to the laryngitis. And he realized that he needed to change his posture and he needed to change his habits. So over years, he learned how to identify his habits and to slowly but surely release the tension that he was always holding in his body, and to relax more. And he said, I've just got it written here, people do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. I love that. People do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So here is a lovely habit for you to start doing to help you decide your future. Let your habits decide your future. And it's called the Alexander posture, or the Alexander position. Really, really easy. All you need to do is lie down on the floor or on a hard, flat surface. So the floor is best, just on you're going to be lying there for a long time. So maybe on a carpet, a yoga mat, or just a blanket that's been folded so that it's comfortable, but it must be firm. Lie down flat on your back, and then get a book, just any book. Okay, this one is too thin. You want a book that is the right thickness so that your neck is not at any angle. When you lie down flat, usually your neck tends to go back a little bit. You want to get a book that is exactly thick enough so that your neck is in a perfect alignment with your spine. So it mustn't be too thick because you don't want to be doing this. So lie down, put a book under your head so that your neck is in perfect alignment with your spine, and then bend your knees. There is a picture in today's little blog showing you exactly how to lie. So you bend your knees up, and when you bend your knees, this actually releases the tension in your lower back. That's why if you go for massages, people, your therapist will usually just put a pillow under your knee. It's just when your knees are slightly bent, your lumbar, the muscles in your lumbar spine just release. And now what you're doing is you're lying flat on your back. Your spine is going to be in perfect alignment, nice, stretched out and flat. Put your arms out by your side and relax. And all you need to do is relax. And what's going to happen is when you lie here for a while, all your muscles that are usually holding on really tight and keeping your neck out like this or like this, and your shoulders hunched over and your back in a funny position, all of them are just going to slowly but surely be pulled down by gravity. So let gravity do the work. You don't have to do anything. And gravity will just tug on these little muscles just a little bit and help them go into their natural position, how they really should be. So easy and so relaxing. Lie down flat, a book under your neck, under your head, your knees slightly bent. If you find it really uncomfortable to have your knees bent for too long, put a nice thick cushion. You've just got to have that bend in your knees. Now, what I want you to do whilst you're lying there, you're not doing any work. You're letting gravity pull those muscles so that your spine goes into lovely alignment. It's going to release so much neck and muscle tension, and so it's going to relieve so much backache. You're going to lie there for a good 15 to 20 minutes. It's a long time. That's why you've got to make sure you're comfortable and you've got a nice blanket. And you're going to lie as still as possible. You don't want to fidget. Just lie there and either put on some music that you love, some beautiful, beautiful music. I sometimes play classical music. So put on some beautiful music, or just listen to the sounds around you and just focus on breathing. So there's actually two things you can do. The first is what my Alexander Technique teacher taught me. And the other is something that I sometimes like to do. So the first one my teacher taught me is, she said to me, as I'm lying there, I need to picture my muscles turning into honey. So just picture all those tight, hard, stiff little balls of muscles in your body, and just picture them softening and softening and softening and becoming honey and dripping down into the earth. It's such a beautiful image. And just let them drip into the earth and just sink into the earth. So that's what my Alexander Technique teacher had me do many years ago. And I would lie there for 20 minutes twice a day. And just picture my muscles just becoming honey and dripping into the earth. It really helped. And actually, a few months ago, I don't know what I did. I'm becoming old. I spent the day organizing my remedies and organizing my filings sitting on the floor. And then after sitting there for hours, I tried to stand up and my body was like this. I was so stiff and so sore, and I couldn't stand up properly. And for days after, I was in pain. And I went to my chiropractor, but I also started doing the Alexander position. And I was in so much pain. I did it 3 times a day, and it really, really helped. So that is the one thing you can do, is imagine your muscles are turning to honey. Another technique you can do, which I get a lot of my clients to do, especially when they're struggling with stress. Stress post-traumatic stress, if they've been through a lot of, been through a big fright, been through a big shock, been through a very, very stressful situation in their lives, and they are stuck. So if you're stuck in that stress response, that adrenal stress response where you're just tight all the time, your brain is very, very busy all the time, you can't turn it off, you can't sleep well, then do the Alexander position, and at the same time, breathe. Breathe in through the top of your head. It sounds weird. Just take a nice deep breath in and let the energy come in. Breathe it in all the way down to the tips of your toes and the tips of your fingers. And then as you breathe out, let it all come up and out. And just get into that technique. Breathe into the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Breathe out. And you just get the energy flowing. And just for 15, 20 minutes, breathe and lie in the Alexander position. Okay, so I love this technique. I'm not an Alexander technique teacher. If you are really struggling with your posture and you're a lot of pain, find one. They're all over the world. It's a phenomenal therapy. It really is. If you're struggling with fatigue and burnout, then just lie in it and breathe. If you want more tips like this, more help, please subscribe to my newsletter. Just go to ruthhull.com. You'll find it there. There's also a link below under this video. Every week on a Monday, I send out a newsletter with a link to a video like this, or sometimes to a blog that I've written. And in my newsletter as well, I always give you something extra that I don't share in my videos and blogs. They're really short. They've always got helpful tips, things you can do in your everyday life to regain your energy and to rebuild your health. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you again soon. Take care.